Since the NHL's inception, there have been countless weird, ridiculous, and outlandish occurrences on and off the ice. Whether it's drama between teammates, a head coach and their very own player, or just a completely awkward fight no one could ever see coming. Here are the top 6 most bizarre stories in NHL history. Phil Bork. The beloved tradition of having one's name etched onto the legendary Stanley Cup stands as one of the most captivating privileges a player may receive in the NHL. Witnessing your name gracing the trophy alongside those of the all-time greats undoubtedly ranks among the most exhilarating experiences in existence. In 1991, Phil Bork secured his Stanley Cup triumph as a pivotal member of the Pittsburgh Penguins. While celebrating with the trophy during the off-season, the NHL's second most renowned Bork detected a subtle but odd rattle coming from the cup. Intrigued, he disassembled it to uncover a surprising revelation. A couple of repairmen had discreetly engraved their names on the cup's interior. Inspired by this hidden piece of history, Bork decided he had to get in on the fun. That's right, Phil Bork etched a message inside the cup for future curious cup conquerors. He wrote, "Enjoy it, Phil Bubba Bork, 91 Penguins." Sergey Fedorov and Pavel Bure. Now, this particular incident shocked not just the hockey world, but the entire sports world, and truly feels like it came straight out of a soap opera, as there was a bit of a Russian love triangle going on here. Sergey Fedorov and Pavel Bure are two of the greatest Russian talents to make their mark in the NHL. But they also have something else in common, or should I say, someone. They just so happen to be engaged to the same woman at the same time. As fate would have it, Fedorov found himself in Detroit as a key player for the Red Wings, while Bure soared as the Russian Rocket in Vancouver and was absolutely a cornerstone for the Canucks. Now, while the timing remains somewhat hazy, it's widely believed that Anna Kournikova, a former tennis prodigy, entered Fedorov's orbit when she was just 17 years old. The two reportedly dated for years. She graced his hockey games with her presence, and he reciprocated by appearing to tennis matches across the world during the off-season. Yet, a twist was in the making, as Kournikova's heart also entertained the calls of another Russian ice superstar in Pavel Bure. At one time, both Bure and Fedorov claimed to be engaged to the tennis diva, but only Fedorov managed to actually put a ring on it. It was a very weird time, as she was engaged to Fedorov but also seen dating Bure. Fedorov told the Hockey News that he questioned Kournikova about Bure and wanted to break up, but was convinced by her to continue their relationship. When asked about rumors at the time concerning their wedding, Fedorov said, "We were married, albeit briefly, and we are divorced now." When it was all said and done, Kournikova actually moved on from both of them and found herself a pop star in Spanish singer Enrique Iglesias. Glenn Hall. Cal Ripken is universally acclaimed as the sports world's Iron Man, an embodiment of durability with his unparalleled streak of consecutive games played. However, Cal Ripken might find himself in the company of a rival, Glenn Hall, whose consecutive game streak in the NHL is absolutely ridiculous. Hall's legacy is interwoven not only with his record-setting streak, but also with a unique pre-game ritual. Prior to every match, Hall would undergo a very unique routine involving an initial bout of vomiting, followed by the consumption of a glass of orange juice. Now, doesn't it seem like the goalies are always the weirdest ones in the dressing room? Remarkably, this ritual, fueled by the acidic content of his stomach, propelled him to participate in a remarkable 502 consecutive games, a milestone further embellished by an additional 49 playoff appearances. Now, this is hands down an unbeatable record within the realm of NHL goaltenders. His unwavering consistency mirrored his exceptional performance guarding the net. Dubbed Mr. Goalie, Hall's illustrious NHL career included the acquisition of 3 Vezina trophies and 2 Stanley Cups, as he played with the Detroit Red Wings, Chicago Blackhawks, and the St. Louis Blues. The worst fight in NHL history? Typically, if Ryan Reeves is participating in a fight, you do not want to miss a single second of it. Reeves is a league vet, and in his 814 NHL games, he has a total of 83 fights. With that being said, this particular fight on March 12, 2023 between Ryan Reeves and Boko Imama was just downright embarrassing. A staggering 28 seconds elapsed between the moment both players dropped their gloves and when someone actually tried to make physical contact with the opposing player. Then, after some more uneventful moments passed, Imama went for a huge haymaker, but of course staying on trend with this fight, he missed the shot and ended up with his head in the lap of Ryan Reeves. Reeves quickly put him in a headlock and the whole thing was done with. There goes a minute we'll never be able to get back. This fight was so embarrassingly bad, Reeves' teammate Marcus Foligno decided to give the Arizona crowd something to cheer about 90 seconds later and dropped the gloves with Coyotes' Liam O'Brien. Mike Milbury. Can you imagine getting hit over and over again by your own shoe? Well, that is what one unlucky New York Ranger fan experienced at the hands of former Boston Bruin Mad Mike Milbury. In what could be described as another incident in the long Boston-New York sports rivalry, the shoe incident will long be remembered as one of the funniest moments in sports history. This incident occurred immediately at the end of the 1979 game in which the Bruins defeated the Rangers 4-3. A Ranger player tried to pick a fight with a Bruin after the final buzzer. Their scuffle was happening along the boards where members of both teams joined in to break it all up. But then all hell broke loose when a fan took a stick and hit Boston Bruins Stan Jonathan from above the glass. Jonathan's teammate Terry O'Reilly immediately jumped into the stands and went after the fan. It wasn't long before other Ranger fans got involved, which prompted the Bruins to join O'Reilly in the stands to fight. Boston Bruin Peter McNabb went after a fan. Mike Milbury, who thought McNabb was in trouble, grabbed the fan by the leg and in the process pulled one of his shoes off. Milbury then proceeded to hit the fan with his own shoe. After getting his licks in, Milbury threw the shoe onto the ice, ensuring that the fan would walk home without that shoe. Mike Modano. In his last year playing in the NHL, Mike Modano decided to sign a one-year deal with the Red Wings, his hometown team, with the hope of making one final playoff run. Arguably the greatest American-born NHLer faced a considerable absence during that season due to an unexpected wrist injury. However, as the season drew to a close and the playoffs approached, he regained his strength and readiness. His NHL career neared the remarkable milestone of 1,500 games played, a distinction just 21 individuals in the league's history could say they had. With the playoffs on the horizon, a single game was all Mike Modano required to cement himself into this esteemed club. The Red Wings, boasting an impressive 104 points, had already clinched their playoff spot that year. However, coach Mike Babcock elected to bench him as a healthy scratch, ensuring that Modano's 1,500-game milestone would remain unachievable. The coach had other plans for the fan favorite that would keep him at 1,499 career games played and out of the lineup for the majority of the postseason. Reflecting on it now, Modano says, "It just happened to come down to those last couple of games that I got healthy scratched, so I would have hit that 1,500 right on the nose on our last game in Chicago, but I got healthy scratched a couple of games before against Minnesota at home in Detroit, so I ended up with that 1,499. Yeah, it was a bitter pill. Still to this point, it would have been nice to finish at some type of high note after the season I went through in Detroit, so yeah, it's a tough one." Modano also said that his teammates Chris Draper and Nicholas Lindstrom expressed their disappointment with the coach's decision. Furthermore, he revealed that the Red Wings GM Ken Holland remained unaware of this situation. Had he been informed, he likely would have intervened. Modano managed to participate in 2 playoff games that postseason, achieving an assist in the process. However, in that following offseason, Mike Modano announced his retirement. Thanks for watching our videos. Don't forget to leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button.